Hey guys, today we're going to teach you how to get the most out of your online English lessons. So it doesn't matter who you are studying with, whether it's Cambly, ITALKI, PREPLY, Lingoda, you can apply these tactics with all of them and learn English quicker. So let's get into it. So I am a Cambly teacher, so I'll be talking mostly about Cambly, but most of these tips will apply to all online English language tutor services. Now lots of students sign up to these online tutors and they expect to see wonderful results very quickly. But let's be honest, to become fluent in any language, it takes time. You cannot expect to become fluent overnight. But that is not all that is needed. You also need to put in effort. You need to have a plan. I have met some students that have been on these learning sites for years and they're not making much progress. Now, why is that? It's because they do not have a learning plan and they do not put any effort in outside of the lessons. So in this lesson, we're going to teach you how to create an effective English learning plan that will suit your needs and will help you to become fluent in English as quickly as possible. Now, the first thing you need to do is decide why you want to learn English. You need to set yourself a goal. It might be that you want to be confident when speaking English, perhaps on the phone at work. Or maybe you just want to get better at conversational English. Perhaps you want to pass your IELTS exam, or you have a job interview in English in a few months' time and you want to be ready for it. Whatever your reason, you need to decide what your goal is so that you can start to work towards it. You can then create a learning plan. Now let's have a look at an example. So this is our student. He has just got a promotion at work and he will now occasionally have to speak on the phone to customers and colleagues in English. So his goal is to become more confident with basic business English. He has signed up to a tutor site. In this case, we'll say that he's signed up to Cambly for 3 lessons a week. And he has followed the steps in our other video and has found the best tutor for his needs. But now, what does he need to do? Well, he needs to create a learning plan. If he doesn't create a plan, he'll end up just having the same conversations over and over with his tutors, and he won't make much progress. So what are your favourite hobbies? Which country would you like to visit? Tell me about your family. What are your favourite hobbies? Which country would you like to visit? So what activities can our student plan? Well, the core of his studies will be based around the Cambly business English lessons that he has signed up to. There are 10 different lessons and our student chooses to do 1 lesson per week. So every Monday evening he will do a business English lesson. That is his main goal, to become better at business English. So he's going to devote 1 whole lesson every week just to that subject. But what about his Wednesday lesson? What can he do then? Well, it's really good to vary your lessons. If you just do serious business lessons every single time, you're probably going to get bored with them. So mix it up a little bit. Do something different. Let's look at some of the different activities you could choose to do in your lessons. So firstly, general conversation. Now this is a really important one. You don't want to have general conversation lessons every time, but it's really good practice to talk to someone and learn how to engage in a normal conversation. When you have a general conversation, make sure that you try to take it in turns, asking and answering questions. Don't just make the tutor do all of the work. So ask your tutor questions about where they live, what they like to do in their spare time, where they've travelled, talk about their family. Developing your skills in small talk, this general conversation, is really important, and it can help you to become a fluent speaker. Now, another thing you can do with your lessons is to start the lesson with a prepared subject in mind that you can discuss. Now, one of my students sends me a note before every lesson, and he says, "This lesson I'd like to talk about education." And then for that lesson, we will have a 30-minute discussion about all the different aspects of education, how it is different in each country. The next week, he might want to talk about poetry or wildlife, art history. By choosing a topic to discuss, you have a basic theme for the discussion, and it helps you to have different discussions each week. But of course, this requires a few minutes of planning before the lesson. You need to think about a subject to discuss. But it really is worth it, taking just those few moments to think about a different topic each week. Another great option for lessons is to use external resources. The internet has some wonderful sites that you can use to learn English, so make use of them. I will often take my students away from the Cambly platform and we will look at lessons elsewhere. So Engu is a great resource that lots of students enjoy using. Most importantly, it's free and it has lots of daily news items that are graded according to ability. In each news lesson, it introduces vocabulary and then gives you the news article for you to read, followed by some discussion questions. So these articles can make a nice change of pace if you want to do something different. There are also some interesting activities where perhaps you can describe a picture or you can play other games with your tutor. So make sure you make use of other online resources. Now, Cambly, ITALKI and all of these other platforms, they all help with your listening and your speaking skills. But it's also important that you develop your reading and writing skills. So perhaps you might want to consider devoting a few lessons to improving these skills as well. Some of my students write essays in English and they will send them to me, one paragraph at a time, and I check through them and make sure that everything is grammatically correct. We then brainstorm ideas together, looking for ways that we can improve the text. Another student of mine contacts me once a week and we're reading a book together. So in the 30-minute session, we only get through a couple of pages, but every time she gets to a sentence or a word that she doesn't fully understand, I will explain it to her or I will act it out for her. It's always a fun lesson, it's one that I always look forward to as the tutor, and I think the student really enjoys it as well. It's also good to share things with your tutor. So I've watched YouTube videos with my students. I've listened to the music that they like. I've shared recommendations of my own. Learning a language should be fun, so try to keep things varied. And with this in mind, you don't have to just stick to one teacher. Feel free to find 2 or 3 different teachers that you enjoy talking to. You will find that some teachers are better at teaching some subjects than others. So I encourage my students to find teachers that specialise in different subjects. For example, I am a business English teacher. That is what I have years of experience in. I can teach grammar, but it is not what I specialise in. So I encourage my students to find a grammar teacher on Cambly as well as a business teacher. So going back to our student, He has his business lesson once a week on a Monday evening. That is his main goal, so he devotes a whole lesson to that. On a Wednesday evening, he has chosen to have general conversations, and sometimes he'll pick a topic that they will talk about. Sometimes it might be a news article on Engu, or he might read a story with his tutor. It will be something that is a bit more relaxed, a bit more fun. But that evening will help him with his speaking, his listening, and his reading skills. And finally, on a Friday evening, for his third lesson, our student is going to focus on his writing and his grammar skills. So perhaps he will share an essay or an email that he has written. He will share that with his tutor and learn how it could be improved. Or maybe he will talk to his grammar tutor and they'll discuss a particular grammatical point that he needs to work on. So in just 3 lessons, our student will cover all of the important topics that will help him to develop. He'll have his business lessons on a Monday, a more fun lesson on a Wednesday that helps with his speaking, listening and reading skills, and he'll have a writing and grammar lesson on a Friday. But what about the other days of the week? Well, each day he will need to do a little bit of English practice. So perhaps it's learning a new word of the day each day. Or maybe he'll watch a movie in English. Remember, learning English should be fun. So listen to English music, watch English TV shows, include English in your daily routine. Do something you enjoy doing, but do it in English. Another great tool is watching the replay videos that Cambly provides. Did you know that you can go back and re-watch your old lessons with your tutors? So it's a great idea to go back and watch some of the older lessons that you have had and see how you have improved over the months. I also highly recommend using YouTube to learn English. Now, there are loads of great English teachers on YouTube, so follow a few of them, and if you just watch one 10-minute video each day, you'll soon start to see progress. The important thing is consistency. You must be consistent. So keep going and you'll be fluent in no time. I hope this lesson has been useful to you. If you enjoyed it, then please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. I'll see you in the next one.